last week's contest.
It's the Jags and the Eagles. All
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by Deshaun Watson. Of course, he won a national title at Clemson and already has 3 Pro Bowls under his belt in the National Football League. Watson now, throwing to start the drive. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 13 yards on the game's opening play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage. And that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass. So that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched him on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
They'll run here with a rookie second-round pick, Kenneth Walker. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-0. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper. Zone for the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. So time to see Jacksonville again up. Second time here in this game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up. the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Off the touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The road ahead a little bit more difficult now after that pick-6. So dealing with his deficit here. We'll see if he can try to make amends on this drive. 1st and 10. Fresh off the pick-6, it's Watson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick-6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That's pulled in at the 32. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now this is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Waddle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott on for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Watson's throw taken in there by Cooks. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On first down, it's Watson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football? And
he fumbled it. It's on the ground. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. This is brought in at the 21. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Walker has it. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? They were touchdown, Philadelphia. Ken Walker with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter, they're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this lead could become.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it is 28-0. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. This one fielded at the 5. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Offense as they get set here. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. An excellent way to start the drive there. 18 yards from the 34 now. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Pressure comes and down. Eagles get there for the sack. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Now Watson. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Watson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Here's Watson. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at about the 28. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Now Montez. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 98 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Justin Jefferson, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Elliott now to have the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Very now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. And you can bet they're hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now a first down throw. Watson escaping the pressure right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Now it's Watson. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line.
Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
.157 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
It's another first down on a big gainer there, 33 yards.
Hard to imagine a quarterback like this would be available in a trade. I mean, what an impact he's going to have.
And you know exactly why they went out and got him. They want to win and win big. And he
is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Kenneth Walker
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was capped off by a touchdown run from the rookie, Ken Walker.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Fielded right around the 8.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll have it just 5 yards away from pay dirt here, 1st and goal.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Ken Walker. Way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles just continue to roll. Elliott good with a PAT. And a route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the 10. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum headed into the second half. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. It's been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against Washington, and now they lead this ball game as well. Set to go here, 1st and 10. To throw, Montez. And that is incomplete.
I had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, it's Walker. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort. And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you. Keep it to short gains. And well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Juwan Johnson, 71 yards. And the Eagles extend their lead yet again. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home. Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Jawan Bentley was the one who found his way through and finished off that play.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Watson now to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed.
And he's going to go down again.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The solid stiff arm. Stiff arm number 2. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
So a good punt there, but a very strong. Yard return.
And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30.
Now a timeout here, an injured player, and that's Jalen Waddle, who seems to be in some discomfort.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Here's Montez.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Juwan Johnson.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Eagles have got it on cruise control. Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Taken in at the 3. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now. And if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Here's Williams to return. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Throw out wide to Walker. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And the catch made by Johnson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain there of 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Kenneth Walker taking it. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Taken in at the 3. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
And now out come the Jags.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Swift is hit, and he coughs it up.
And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
But Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after
Johnson. His third touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Eagles are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Free kick out of bounds.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Looking to throw again on second down. Watson toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Kenneth Walker headed back out there. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Up the middle, here's Walker. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Boy, 179 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They run again with Walker. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's in. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Elliott on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something on the board and not get shut out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And now Watson throws another interception. Sauce Gardner picks it off.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead. And it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away.
Very short kick taken right at the 20. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
And out now comes.
I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Quentin Williams
Able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Rolling to his right. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
as that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance. Staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one, you're exactly right. Clean sweep, and boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
Then on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Elliott good on the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long. To throw is Watson. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Rashawn Gary able to record his 5th sack of the season. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense through the shutout, Adam, I think they worked in concert to